Bob Hasegawa, your state representative from the 11th Legislative District, and we're here starting week 5 from Olympia. And here's just a quick update of some of the stuff that's been going on. You know, we're trying to patch up our budget before the biennium ends on June 30th. So we've got a bill that we sent over to the Senate, who is working it over right now and getting ready to send it back to the House. And we'll have to negotiate and hopefully come up with a final package. Then we start work on the biennial budget for next 2011 to 13 biennium. That's where we're facing the big shortfall of close to $5 billion. And our community is going to disproportionately feel the impacts of that because low income and communities of color generally do feel disproportionate impacts from the budget cuts. So one of my main goals is to minimize that effect, negative effect. One of the ways that we can do that is by looking at ways that we might be able to generate some new revenue to offset some of the negative consequences. These new revenues are going to be very difficult to get through the legislature, though, because as a result of Initiative 1053, which requires a 2/3 vote to pass any bills that could potentially increase revenues, in the process, 1053 tied our hands from being able to take a close look at any of the corporate tax breaks that are out there. Now, I'm not sure everybody was aware when they were voting for 1053, but that was my main objection to that, was that it considered eliminating a tax break the same as raising revenue to the state. So pretty much prevented us, without a 2/3 vote, which is almost impossible to get on a budget issue down here, passed through the legislature. We can, however, pass it with a simple majority vote, but then it has to go to the people for a final vote after that. So that's one of the options that we're looking at. One of the things, I am Vice Chair of the Ways and Means Committee this session for the House, and I have a bill in there that it will force the state to list all of the tax exemptions that we currently have out there. There's over 500 of them right now. Most of them are required by the Constitution or by federal mandates, so we won't be listing all of the tax exemptions, but the ones that we can, we will be now booking them into the budget so that we can weigh the value of a corporate tax break against the benefit that those taxes could pay for, like housing for our elderly and home care and health care for children and school lunches and all those good things, which are all facing cuts because of our budget situation. So I've got those important bills going forward. I've talked to you about my Washington Investment Trust bill. That's a revenue generator as well, but it's for the long-term good of the state and in helping us create more access to capital for our small businesses in our community. I've also just filed a bill to give in-state domiciled small businesses a bidding preference when they're competing against out-of-state companies for our state contracts. So I hope you keep an eye on that one too. So my main focus is in making sure that we're using your tax dollars that you entrust to the state for your benefit. That is, to keep it in our state, working for the benefit of our state, not exporting it as profits to out-of-state companies. So I hope you agree with that approach, and for now, I'll talk with you again in about 2 weeks. Thanks. This is Bob Hasegawa, your state representative from the 11th District.